Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to FreeCell Quest. Let's hop in and play. I don't know if it really is worth it to exit out and come back to the menu every time. So I did some research. FreeCell is not installed by default on Windows 10. It is combined in the Microsoft Windows App Store under the Microsoft Solitaire collection, which also includes Solitaire and I assume 2 other games. It did say 4 Solitaire games. So you would have to go through the Windows 10 App Store. No telling whether that is an easy process or a hard process, because I have no intention of ever actually doing it. Simply put. Alright. Let's see. Is there a way to get out from under this? This still doesn't quite fit. Oh man, that's gonna hit me. There's no way that's not gonna hit. I mean, should be able to do that. Then I should be able to do that. But then I don't have 2 spots to do that. Okay. I see. So that's why that didn't work. These things do hit hard. I looked at the achievements, by the way, for this game. There is seemingly no achievement for beating the game in just kind of with every single character. So that's not something I have to be concerned about. Yeah. I just don't have enough space. I think what happened here is I screwed up and I should have done something completely different. Is there a way to reset this? Quit. Lose all progress on this match. Yeah, let's just quit and hop back in. That's probably the easiest way to start over on this. And sometimes that will be the solution. So we kind of know that this is going to be a particularly precarious one. So I don't want to mess up too much. Feel like I'm doing the same thing a second time. I could take this and put it down here, but I couldn't get these. I mean, that's probably the right move. But I'm gonna have to make a decision. It's gonna be a tough one. This is probably a smart move. Do that, and do that. And then if we could get that on the field, like that doesn't really help anything. Yeah, you can really fail this. You can definitely really fail this. Come on, game. Like, a red 6 really can't go anywhere. An 8 really can't go anywhere. A 10 can't really go in here. I mean, this moves us forward to stacking things. That's kind of all it does. See, I'm about to lose. I guess we should just lose and see what happens, unless this is gonna be a case of if you lose, then it's game over. That'd be kind of crazy. If I could just find one more thing, I could stack everything down here. Yeah, let's let it lose and see if we get any XP or experience here. Or this might just be an example of we need to get a full set before we try to do this level. And we may just have to bounce around. Yeah, I think going forward, the move is to probably try something different. As soon as we run into any trouble, I think we've got to try something different. Yeah, what I desperately need is this king out of the way. So how can I get this king out of the way without taking up this spot? This probably doesn't change much there. Yeah. Still kind of not there. Still kind of missing something. So there's defeat. And we lost 91 gold. Okay, that's good to know. So, when we lose gold, it also knocks us all the way back. So, good to figure out. Let's go to this temple, train, see if we can buy something new. What does magic aura do? We didn't even check. Well, whatever. We're gonna unlock everything. I don't think we've done this, or that undid itself somehow. Yeah, this feels like there's more cards on the table than normal again. Seems like this game changes the rules on you and just throws different scenarios in front of you to figure and leave you figuring out what what the rules really are of FreeCell. And unlike all solitaire games, I guess the rules are infinite because everybody makes their own little house rules, and there's a ridiculous number of variations. There we go. So we should be in a pretty good spot there now. There. And then I think that's pretty much it. Now there are some achievements like beat a 2-stack in less than 10 seconds. I don't know how you do that without some kind of spell that just finds the perfect rules or plays for you, or some kind of charm or something. So I suspect if I'm gonna get that achievement, there's either a setup where you can just right click really fast, or there's one layout here. Yeah, and this totally is back to 10 stacks where we were at up to 12 in the other one. Maybe that is affected by the type of building you're in. Flashlights, the low cards. Okay. So we now know what flashlight means. And it seems to last a while. Or it seems to last for the entirety of the game. Which, okay. Probably get more experience if you don't use spells. Alright. And see, this is an actual 8 stack, and this is my experience of playing FreeCell, but it's with 4 suits, and we're still only really playing with 2 suits, which is why this is so incredibly easy, and why I know that this can get really, really hard as soon as they start throwing the other suits at me. We'll see what happens, certainly, but yeah, I can't imagine a scenario where this doesn't start to get incredibly challenging. Right, 2 there, and then 1 there is not good enough, but we need to clear off that area. So I'm gonna put that back and move this instead. I can't because I don't have enough room for that. Why don't I have enough room for that though? I should have had enough room for that. Yeah. I feel like maybe it doesn't know how to count. Nah. Maybe I don't know how to count. That could be it. But this being FreeCell, it does have an interesting split here because it's like half a, let's see, level 4 versus level 5. It feels like it's half a slow game and half a slightly fast game, or at least slightly faster version of FreeCell than what you would expect. Generally speaking, if I was playing FreeCell, I would not have a pressure to move fast, so that they've perhaps betrayed is the wrong word, but I think it's the word I would use to describe it. They've kind of betrayed the target audience or the general concept of solitaire games in general, because they've been, traditionally speaking, very slow, contemplative, games, and this has added elements to it. On the other hand, RPGs always need grinding, so instead of making the grinding item a mission where you have to kill 10 rats and just go out and click a button a lot to hack and slash it at some kind of creature, low-level creature, to grind and gain experience. The grinding in this is the FreeCell play. On the other hand, if you're gonna look at it from that perspective, while the grinding in a game like Skyrim was the hacking and slashing and attacking enemies, there was a lot of story and a lot of more specialized gameplay actions on top of that in Skyrim. It wasn't just all grinding, and any RPG game that is just all grinding is going to probably not be very fun. So they added the RPG elements. It was maybe a good idea in the abstract, but in not thinking it all the way through, there's a potential here. They missed an important piece. So there's a match 3 game that's been released many times in many different variants, that has a lot of characters that you select and a lot of story that you go through. It's very popular. I think it ends in the word quest also, but I can't remember the first name. And I'm wondering if that's what's missing here, is that after defeating each level, we needed to see some line of dialogue. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, or Clash of Heroes, I believe is the name of it, not Clash of Clans. I think is kind of an example of that too, because it had a strategy game, and that was all you really did, was play the strategy game throughout the entirety of the story. But that seems like it did more damage than normal. But because you were talking to characters, because you were seeing characters pop up on the screen, giving you some backstory and just taking you along for a narrative ride, there's, I think, a significantly better experience than what we potentially are going to get here. I'm not ready to call it by any means. This is also one of those games that seems like it's so simple it would be kind of stupid to rage quit it. But I do have some concerns about the longevity in which you could play this FreeCell game, and it is unquestionably a requirement that any FreeCell game you get is a long-term game. I'm not willing to recommend to anyone, or even play myself, games that take something that should be infinitely replayable and then try to break it up and turn it into episodic content or something along that line. So we do have 2 of these. So we could start filling in things, but I don't think we're really to that point yet. It might just be easier to stick with what we've got. that. And oh, really? How we're supposed to? This is a weird game to keep focus on in a weird way, too. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting sleepy. That could be it too. But I've started to lose my train of thought more and more as I'm playing this, and just have my eyes don't really want to focus on the cards. There's nothing wrong with the cards. They look fine. I don't particularly like all the lack of animation. I kind of wish if I hit the escape button here, no, that's just retreat. If I hit the pause button here, there's no options until you get to the main menu, and even then there was no animation options. I also looked on the Steam store page. It seems like there were in-app purchases for the cosmetics at some point, but I don't see them actually on the Steam store page, and that may just be because that's a new feature that wasn't in existence when they set up these in-app purchases, so of the decks, or it might be that they have been rescinded the I don't want to say the opportunity to sell the themes. I wouldn't be surprised if it was both those things, or just one of those things. So without going through the hassle of turning on Steam overlays to check to see if I could buy the themes, I'm just gonna leave it at that. So yes, there are cosmetic purchases in this deluxe edition game. I don't know how much I paid for this game. I very possibly paid more than I probably should have, because I've been rather desperate. I said this at the beginning of this series. I've been very desperate to find a FreeCell game, particularly on Steam. Sure, I could go get a Windows game of FreeCell, but my goal in a small part is to have as much games all on the Steam storefront in one location. Like, I don't want to have to remember that there's an install file or some other storefront that I have to go find if I wanted to play FreeCell. Although still, that lingering question is, in the modern day, do you really need or want to play FreeCell in a do you want to play those games in a computer format, or do you want to play these games on a mobile phone format, whether that is iOS or Google Android or some other operating system, if you're not using one of those, I guess. I think mobile FreeCell might be the more valuable one. This is, I believe, the one I keep getting stuck on. And I think it might be that this is just specifically designed in a way to make it impossible to win. That may just be how that boils down. If I put that up there, I'd get the 2 gone and then give me a 5. Can I do that now? No. Need the 3. And to play the 3, I would need the jack down. So you kind of have to stack that because you kind of need to do this, to do this, to do that. And then I'm kind of doomed. You can get to that 7, but that doesn't really help me any. I could maybe get to this. That doesn't really help me. I can get to this, and that doesn't really help me. Can move this. I want this gone. Need that ace. Desperately need that ace. Which would mean I would need this 8. Which would mean I would need this 7. So I guess that might help us. We might be able to get here now. That. Alright, I think we may have this. To there. And then to there. That. There we go. Felt like that took several attempts. And having the extra XP didn't really do anything for me. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna be in a weird position now because I kind of don't have anything more to say until we can get a lot of mileage under our belt, frankly. I'm just gonna have to test drive this card game and see how well it plays. So maybe we'll go for slightly longer episodes and slightly quieter episodes. Generally, I don't want the videos I make to be super silent. I want to talk about what's going on, but there's not a lot going on. Let's see, inventory. I guess we can put anything. Teleport you back to the last inn you're rested in. Interesting. Let's see. I think we probably do need to do this. So this. Oh, it seems like it's not a choice. It just takes cards that you have 2 of and gives you cards you don't have. Now, of course, the question would break down to it's not even 2 extra of the same cards. It's just 2 extra cards. Alright. So you just click that button as if that's nothing. What level am I on, by the way? I'm at level 8, so playing level 10 should be really difficult, right? And I could see why, because this has like a 6 power, 6 pile puzzle on it. So doing something like that probably won't work. So we might as well just leave. Then go back this way to this, to train, scramble, and can we afford this? No, we can't. So what does scramble do? Shuffles a stack of cards. So yeah, effectively these abilities are cheating and not playing real FreeCell. That was something that started happening pretty often in Regency Solitaire also, is that you would run into scenarios where you couldn't win, and then because you couldn't win, you would just have to cheat to even stand a chance. And I guess that's a way of fixing some of these older games like Solitaire and FreeCell in this case, where these games in the past have definitely not been 100% winnable. If I play that, it'll get the ace for sure. Is there anything else that would make sense though? See, if I move this, I can move the 9, but then the 5 doesn't really do anything for us. If I move this, I can move the 6, I guess. And that straightens that out a little bit. I don't think I can move all 3 of these, and that's probably what I need to do. I could only move 2, and then let's just go ahead and heal. I can move this, and that won't really change anything. Yeah, and then that solves that problem. And that. And that. Okay. So what it seems like is going to happen is we'll do this one, this one, this one, this one, and then we won't be able to do this one for a while, so we'd have to fast travel. And this is a gate to the underground world of Dawn, D-A-N-N, or Dan, however you want to read that. So that might be a transition to another area, or there's a whole underworld area of more difficult challenges, which I may not even welcome at this point, because it feels like, since this is going to be pretty repetitive, there's kind of not a need to see this. Like I was saying, this game, FreeCell, any FreeCell game needed to be 100% replayable, but what this is offering is not a pure FreeCell, and it would be kind of hard right now for you to play a pure FreeCell game. I feel like a game like this needs a button right on the front of the screen before you do any of the campaign mode. It needs to say campaign, and then it just needs to say traditional play right below that, and just give you a randomized FreeCell game. Because there will be people that just want to jump into that without having to jump through hoops or try and do something different. And this is very different. And so what this was offering, I'm not sure, is something that I would want to play, even if I was a FreeCell fanatic, because it just feels really, really different. So what are we missing? This 8? There we go. I have to pay attention. Man, really am losing my train of thought. I think I'm finally getting sleepy. And we got some gloves. These little items don't feel like they really do anything. +1 defense. Okay. That'd be helpful for some things, but... So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards to go. And the funny thing here, of course, is that these do feel like these are preset challenges. They don't feel randomized or run through any kind of algorithm. And that would be pretty hard to do, frankly, to figure out an algorithm that could identify the cards that, or the layouts that are more difficult than other layouts, and hand one of the skill level like 6 layouts to a player. And frankly, even if you did have an algorithm that could do that, which it seems like you could, it probably would be so complicated that it couldn't be running in real time. So you would still have to make a collection of prearranged or start games and start states and then play them. So just by people watching me play this right now, you're probably seeing a pretty obvious walkthrough for the entire game. I don't think anything's going to change too much. So, and because that's the feeling I'm getting, I question the replayability of this once you've beaten all the areas. I suppose you could go for score, and I suppose you could go for or just an increased amount of unlocked or level, or an increased speed, but that would be pretty much it. Okay, I need this there. So these are Seaward. These are Kingdom of Hurlin areas, where these are or Kingdom of Milan areas. So we freed everything, although this is black, not white. So what does that mean on the key when something's black? Nothing. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. We did everything in this area except for this one. And the next move would be to just do everything in this area. And so you are pretty much going to have a linear experience until you get to this point where you could decide to branch off over here or branch off over here, and then it starts to branch in different directions, so you can just kind of take your pick. I imagine the levels of these areas are the things that would dictate on as far as which direction you'd want to go. Inventory wise, I guess we have to find a way to sell these somewhere, because we haven't really seen a place where we can sell them. And yeah, I'm still 3 cards short of what we need. And yeah, themes don't mean anything. And progress wise, we've done 31 of 32. And take note that some of these barely have a few in them because they're lesser areas, where the big ones do seem to sit around 30 to 40 challenges. So 7, 10, 13, 14. It looks like we're maybe 1/16 of the way done with the game in totality. It's a little weird, to say the least, but it may get more challenging. Really wish there was a story here, though. I really wish there was even a simplistic basic hero story. Monsters attack your village, you swear revenge, you go out and attack the monsters, or the military comes and takes over your village, you swear to free the entire land. Even if your character just said something every now and then, it's really ridiculous to create a character, never see that image of that character again, because I chose a ninja that seemed to really play no role, and he doesn't seem to be talking to anybody. Like, it'd be really weird if we get to the very end of this game and we have some conversation. But it's hard to call this a quest when there's really no dialogue or quest going on. If you were going to call it this quest, then somebody has to be a quest giver to give you the quest, and it has to be an epic challenge of some sort. And that's not just here, so this would have been better suited if it was just called FreeCell RPG, or FreeCell the Freedom, or FreeCell Resistance, or something like that. Again, it desperately needs just play traditional play. Campaign mode, traditional play. 2 buttons. Get rid of the evaluate button. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.